Continuing our podcast of interviewing past international golf participants, today we have Elise Lim from Sacramento, California, who was a participant in our junior golf tournament in 2024 in the age bracket of 10 to 12. Elise, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So, one of the things we talk about on this podcast is a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became affiliated with the Optimist tournament.
So I became affiliated with the tournament through golf, and I have been golfing since I was 4 years old. So about 10 years now. And at that point, 8 years when I joined the tournament. And it so happened that I was in the qualifier. And in the qualifier, you have to place top three in the bracket in the qualifier to qualify to go into the tournament. And it so happened that I did qualify and I decided to go, and it was a great experience.
Had you ever heard of the Optimist Club before your affiliation with the tournament?
Um, yes, like a little bit. I didn't know about it as much as I do now, because at that point, I think I wasn't super into looking at organizations.
Let's talk a little bit about the qualifier tournament. Tell us some of the things you did in the tournament and some shots you had or some emotions you were feeling at the qualifier tournament.
So throughout the whole tournament, I was really nervous, and because it was one of my first international tournaments, and I was super nervous, and I was really excited because it was just my first time. And throughout the whole entire experience, I think I was just happy. I just felt so welcome because there were so many players, and I had that realization that everyone was nervous as I was. And I think that really helped me through playing the tournament. And I think there were some activities there which were also fun. I think there was a longest drive activity, and that was really fun. I made some friends there, and I think throughout the whole experience, I just have great memories from it. And I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to go.
Let's talk a little bit about those relationships. Tell us about some of the people you met and the relationships you did forge because of the Optimist International Tournament.
So when I was there, I played with a lot of players that were super great. I think I met someone named Taylor. I'm blanking out on her name, but her last name. But I don't talk to her as much now because she does live in a different state. So I guess that was really hard. And but throughout the whole thing, like we talked, we went to the pool, we hung out, and it was really fun.
So you've made some pretty good friends at the tournament. You're hoping to see again when you have the chance to go back.
Mhm.
Did you meet anybody from a different country that you forged a relationship with?
Unfortunately, no. I did meet one of the players that was from Spain. I'm not sure of her name, but she was super nice and she did really well.
When you got to the tournament in Miami, tell us a little bit what you're feeling and all the things that you saw and were like what you were expecting and some of the things you weren't expecting, like the golf course. Tell us some of that stuff.
So I was not expecting the golf course to be narrow because I haven't been to a Trump golf course before. And when I went, I played a practice round before. And when I was playing, I was just amazed. Like, I had no expectations of the golf course. Obviously, I knew it would be amazing, but I did not expect it to be just that beautiful. And it was very narrow, but it was shorter, which catered to my golf skills because at the time, I didn't hit very far and I hit more precise. So that helped a lot. And I was just also amazed by the weather because it was very hot during the whole entire thing. Um, it was like you step outside and it's already like feels like a million degrees.
Let's talk about the golf tournament itself a little bit when you were playing and what you experienced and some of the things you had that went on the golf course, like playing some of the difficult holes, making difficult putts, things like that.
Um, a lot of difficult putts happened. I mean, the greens are really hard and I was just not expecting that. So I think I really had to practice putting on the practice green because it was a lot different than from the Sacramento um, holes and greens. And I mean, there were a lot of tough putts. I know I did make some long ones, which I was really happy about. But I think that the putts and putting were the hardest part of the course because the greens are just very hilly and hard to tell.
Is there a specific golf hole that sticks out in your memory that was either a really good one or a really bad hole that you had played?
I think the hole that sticks out is number 10. I'm not sure if I played well or bad, but I just remembered like looking at it and I was just shocked because it was so beautiful and I was just amazed.
Did you end up getting a par, I hope, on that hole? Or maybe even better yet, get a birdie?
I'm not sure, but I will probably check on that later.
So, what is one of the memories that sticks out in your mind that really is a great memory about the international golf tournament while you were there?
One of the memories was just walking out onto the first hole and just seeing like the most lush and beautiful course ever and having that realization that I should just focus on the course instead of focusing on the competition, which really strengthened my mindset and kept me focused.
When you're playing in the tournament, what were some of the emotions you were going through as you were going hole to hole?
Hole to hole, I think usually when I start out, I play better than when I end out. So what I'm thinking is just I need to keep it together. I need to keep going. I can't give up and I can do this. And throughout it, I was really nervous, but I was trying to like mask it with just calm, being calm.
You said you qualified in the tournament. Are you looking forward to qualifying for the tournament this year?
I really hope so. I do realize that I am in an age group that is harder. So I am a little bit worried about that, but I would absolutely love to have the opportunity to go again.
So when you play in the qualifier, what would you tell other people about the qualifier if they wanted to sign up for one?
I would tell them that it is such a great opportunity and I would absolutely recommend it because usually, at least for me, when I enter a tournament, I'm usually worried because I don't think I'm gonna do well and I just have self-doubt. But I would tell them that really you should take away that self-doubt and realize if you qualify, it's gonna be great. But if you don't qualify, there's always other opportunities. And if you do qualify, it's such a fun thing to do. And I would definitely recommend it.
What advice do you have for kids that when they do make the qualifier, some things that you would tell them before the big tournament in Miami?
As I said before, I would tell them that it's okay to be nervous, but realize that everyone else is nervous too. So you shouldn't feel self doubt or feel like you're less than. And if you have to truly plant your mindset into saying that you can do this. And if you think positive, it's like speaking it into reality. And I think that that's a really, really hard thing to do. And yeah.
What is one of the memories that you have with your family at the tournament that sticks out in your mind? Because you obviously when you go down there, you don't just only play golf. You're able to have some fun as well.
Mhm. It was a great opportunity because I got to have my grandparents there and they don't live in Florida. They live in Virginia half the year and Korea half the year. And I'm so grateful that I got to have them there and they were cheering me on. And I think that was one of the best memories that I have there.
That's a pretty great memory having your grandparents there watching you play in a tournament. Let's talk a little bit about some mindsets that you have for the golf course when you get there. Like tell people like what you were not expecting that really surprised you about the golf tournament.
When I came there, as I said, I was so nervous. I didn't think I was going to play well because sometimes when you play under stress. You don't perform as how you usually would perform on practice. And so I was really, really nervous and I was worried that I wasn't going to do well. And then when I got there, I kind of took a sigh of relief because when I was on the first hole, I started talking with the people that were there, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm really nervous, but you're gonna do well. It's going to be okay." And I think that just the people there really just came in a full circle experience for me.
I want to ask you about, like I said, the relationships you made. Did you have a roommate while you were down there? Was there anyone in specifically that you spent a lot of time with while you were at the golf tournament?
No, I had my dad as a roommate because he was there with me, and my mom had to work, so he came down with me. And yeah, as I said, Taylor, we had a lot of fun. We walked around the golf course, we got lunch, and then we went to the pool, and it was just really fun.
So one of the things that you've taken away from this is the great relationships you can make while playing in the tournament.
Yes, absolutely.
Is there anything that you'd like to tell our listeners about the golf tournament that you want them to know that you don't think would be general knowledge for them?
I think that some knowledge would be just to be yourself, because sometimes when you go into, at least for me, when I go into environments that I'm nervous about, I try to become like cater to their personality because I'm nervous. And I would just say, just be yourself. And if you be yourself and stay true to yourself, then that's the best thing that you can do.
Is there anything that you want to tell the Optimist organization about the tournament that you haven't been able to really say to them at all?
For one, I would just love to thank them for such an like amazing experience. And I would tell them just to keep going, and because it's one of the best things I've ever done.
So now you're still pretty young and you have quite a few years left where you'll be able to qualify for the tournament. But have you started making some goals or dreams that you have after you graduate high school?
After I graduate high school, I have a dream to play on the Stanford women's golf team. That's been a dream of mine for so long, and I would just absolutely love the opportunity to be there. And after, I would like to play or have the chance to play on the LPGA and be with such amazing golfers. And it's just, it would be a dream.
So you're shooting for the top. That's a pretty good goal to have for to do.
Mhm.
What are some of the ways the Optimism International Tournament has helped you shape your golf game and helped you shape as you as a person?
It absolutely helped my golf game because before I didn't have it, like as I said, I didn't realize that everyone else was nervous too because I've never played in a tournament where other players would admit that. And now when I come to golf tournaments in Sacramento, I I just feel calmer, and that is like a huge huge thing for me. And I'm so happy that I got to have that experience to just realize that I'm not the only one.
What would you tell other golfers that are debating whether to do a qualifier or not? What would you tell them if you had advice if they were listening to this podcast?
I would tell them to absolutely go for it. Qualifiers are probably the best things because you can gain skill and you can get ready to go to those big tournaments that really help you and shape how you are.
What has the Optimist International Golf Tournament helped you with your golf game? Like, are you still practicing quite a bit? And what are some of the things you're doing with that?
I mean, they help me gain a love for the game because when I was younger, I didn't enjoy golf as much as I do now. And when I went to the Optimist, I came in just thinking, oh, it's gonna be fine. It's whatever, it's just golf. And then when I came out, I just had such a love for the sport because I realized the community that was really surrounding me. And I was just so grateful. And after, I just found a really huge love for the game. And I just kept practicing and practicing. And now I really enjoy it.
Has your game improved since you played in the Optimist International Golf Tournament?
Yes, I hope so. I think I did improve a lot, especially my mindset. And it just helped me like practice more, get more into the game. And yeah.
So you talked about you wanted to go to Stanford, and what do you want to study when you go to Stanford?
I would like to study business. I love math too, math and business, because I love talking to people and I like arguing with people and debating.
That's a good skill to have. So it'd be really good in business to have as well.
Mhm.
So how will you know what are some of the things you looked into for doing to qualify for the Stanford women's golf team? Have you looked into that at all?
Yes, I have met the coach, and basically, I saw that you do need to play well in high school for them to scout you at all, and also keep your grades up and have lots of extracurricular activities. So I've been trying to start that even now in middle school. So yeah.
Did you know anything about the Optimus organization before this golf tournament, or
Um, yeah, I did. I heard about the tournament a lot, and just I've heard about the organization and what it does. So I was really excited to join.
does being a member of this golf tournament make you in the future want to be a member of an Optimist club?
I would love to be an opportunity or to have the opportunity to do it. I wouldn't say that that's one of my main goals, but it's definitely a goal that I have.
Well, just for your heads up, we do have an Optimist International Junior Optimist International called Joy. So maybe you could look into that at your school to help set some things up.
Yeah, I would love to.
What Now that, like I said, we're kind of getting towards the end of this, but I want to ask you also this: what is some of your goals and aspirations for this year's tournament?
For this year's tournament, I would just like to play the best that I can because obviously it's hard under pressure. And I would just like to stay calm, trust my skill, and just realize that it's just more experience that I gain. And even if I don't qualify, I still gain the experience and new knowledge, which is just great. So it's just a positive thing all around.
You live in a pretty populated area. Is the qualifier tournament very well publicized and attended by people in your area?
Um, Not really. Because in my area, I mean, I would say not a lot of people play golf. And I'm pretty sure they play more other sports like soccer or dance or baseball. And I think that golf isn't talked about enough. So, no, I wouldn't say that the Optimist tournament is known.
So you're just very lucky that it's not a competitive field. So hopefully you can make it to international this year.
Yes.
How excited would you be if you got to any of the qualifier this year?
I think I would just be overjoyed. I'd be so happy because last year I didn't get to go into the qualifier because I was traveling and I was really upset and I was really sad because the Optimist has such a deep place in my heart. And if I qualified this year, I think I'd just be so happy and grateful and I'd just be so happy to have the experience again.
Well, hopefully you'll get a great golf game and shoot a great score and be able to qualify.
Yes, I hope so.
Are you looking forward to seeing Taylor and some people if they make it this year? If you make the tournament this year?
Yeah, I would be really happy to see her because I haven't seen her in a while. And because we live so far and just schedules get busy, we sort of lost touch and it really makes me sad. And I would be just so happy to meet more people and create more relationships. And that would just be so amazing.
So if you do make the cut this year, what is a goal for yourself that you're going to set for the Optimus International tournament?
A goal would just be to stay calm and to trust myself and to be myself because those are all things I struggled with the last time I went to the tournament. And I think that staying calm definitely would help me in performance.
Well, at least I cannot tell you how much we appreciate you taking the time to visit with us, and good luck in your qualifier this year. And
Thank
hopefully, we'll
you.
see your name on the leaderboard down in Florida.
I hope so. All right. Thank you so much for this opportunity. This was a really fun interview, and I really appreciate you inviting me.
No, we appreciate you coming on because we're trying to do some new things, and this is going to be a great series. And we can't tell you much because I know how kids these are. They're so busy with all the stuff they got going on. So thank you again for taking the time to be with us.
Of course, of course.